Welcome to Cooking with West Coast Ayurveda. Today we're going to be making ghee. Ghee is clarified butter. It's traditionally used in a lot of Ayurvedic preparations as well as for cooking. Today we're going to make a multi-purpose ghee that's generally going to be used as a food topper. Ghee is a very simple recipe. It actually only uses one ingredient, that being butter. It's not regular butter, however. We want to make sure we use an unsalted butter like this. Today we're going to use approximately 2 pounds of butter, which should yield about 1 liter of ghee. Cooking ghee can be a little bit tricky, so we're going to use a very large pot as it's going to bubble up quite a bit. So a pot like this is perfect. We're going to have the heat set to about 7 or 8. I'm going to drop in a pound of butter and just let it melt. And you can see it starting to melt right now. Okay, I'm just going to add the second pound of butter and put it back in the pot like that. Okay, so we've had the butter in the pan for a little bit, and now you can see it starting to bubble up. Now this is where we're going to see the curd starting to separate and the butter will become a little more clarified. I'm just going to stir this a little bit, make sure it doesn't burn, but you can see that nice frothiness that we've got on top. That's showing you that it's separating nicely. The butter is really starting to boil now, and we can see as you watch the water evaporate, you know it's separating. And soon some curd will start to deposit on the bottom, some golden brown curds, which you'll see in a few minutes. Now remember to constantly stir it a little bit every now and then, because you don't want anything to really stick. You want it to just have that nice sort of, you can see it here if you look at it very closely. You can see how it's starting to clarify there nicely. The ghee is now ready. You can clearly see how it's separated and the curd is a golden brown. Once it's at this point, we know that the ghee is ready. So at this point, we're going to turn off the heat and let the ghee cool for a few minutes. This whole process with about 2 pounds of butter over medium-high heat took approximately 20 or 25 minutes. Okay, now that our ghee is ready, we need to pour it into a jar and strain it. Now, when pouring it into a jar, we always want to use a metal spoon and just put it inside, because if we pour hot ghee, sometimes we can crack the jar, and that's definitely something we don't want to do. So just like this, and we're ready to strain using a simple strainer like this. Just place it over top, take the ghee, and just pour it. And you'll see it going in there. The reason why we use a strainer is because there are little bits of that you can see, the curd that has gone to that golden brown. And so that'll give you a nice view of what it looks like. The ghee is ready for use at this point.